Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Angel, and if you're new here, all I do is talk about books. And for today's video, since the weather is like calming down, it's getting cooler, even though today's like 80 degrees, we'll just ignore that. Today's video is going to be a fall book recommendation, and I didn't think I was going to have a lot, but then this is like half of my book collection, so I had to narrow it down, and I'm pretty satisfied with these books, so let's get started. The first book I'm actually rereading, and it's safe to say that I actually love it as much as I did the first time I read it. The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. This book is literally giving fall. It has such a dark vibe, though it's like still YA, but the enemies to lovers, the tension, they can't even hold hands, but you could feel the tension. The Shadows Between Us is about Alessandra and Callias. Alessandra is out for the crown. She wants to kill Callias to rule over his kingdom, and she's gonna do that by wooing him and marrying him, and then she's gonna kill him. But it's safe to say the trope, the number one enemies to lovers trope, it's like a subdivision. It's the I'm here to kill you, but I fell in love with you. It's so good, and when I say it's YA, but the tension is there, girl, you have to believe me, because literally it's called The Shadows Between Us for a reason, and he's another shadow daddy, as Book Talk likes to call it. He has shadow powers and he can't touch anyone. I don't think I'm supposed to say anything else because it kind of gives away the rest of the book, but let's just say he can't touch her because of his shadows, and she's just longing for his touch, even though she's gonna kill him. She's so funny, by the way. Like, she's like, oh, I see the softness in his eyes now. I want to like cherish him and then kill him. And I'm like, girl, I mean, if that's your goal, that's your goal. I love this book. I am doing a reread because I didn't tab anything or like underline anything, and you know, I'm gonna go ham. I'm like halfway through and I'm giggling and kicking my feet in the air, and literally I just look like a maniac while reading this book. I definitely vibe with this book and would recommend it to literally everybody. I love it so much. The next book, actually it's a couple books because it's a series, but I am going to be recommending the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver. I love this series so much. If the series title didn't already like kind of reel you in or intrigue you, let me just say one word: cowboys. The first two books, Flawless and Heartless, are about brothers who basically like run their father's ranch. And then the third book, Powerless, is like their childhood friend. And then Reckless is of the first book brothers, like little prodigy, I want to say. Honestly, I should just give you guys like a little deep dive. So Flawless is about Summer and Rhett. Rhett is like a reformed playboy. He needs to stay out of trouble, and so his agent, which happens to be Summer's dad, assigns Summer to like babysit him. So it's like forced proximity. I want to say like reverse Grumpy Sunshine, because Summer is like strictly there for a job, and she like wants to be taken seriously around like her dad's little agency. But when she was younger, she had the biggest crush on Rhett, and it's so funny. Like, they bring it up all the time, and I love that little dynamic of like teasing, and it's just funny. Like, I love it so much. The second book in the Chestnut Spring series is Heartless. It's definitely my favorite book out of the series. It's a single dad, nanny trope, Grumpy Sunshine. What else is there? I guess like guy with like a dark past, closed off on love, you know, like all of that shebang. But Heartless is about Cade and Willa. Willa is Summer's best friend. And let's just say Cade is in need of a new nanny that can keep up with his 5-year-old son. And so Summer suggests Willa, and basically Willa like kills it. She loves working with Cade's son. Cade's son loves her so much, and then But let's just say the tension, the built up tension, and just their first time meeting is like so funny too, because they didn't realize it was each other, and then when they formally meet, it's just like, you? I love those first encounters where they don't know it's each other and it's like something embarrassing or like something so scandalous, and then they formally meet and it's like, no way. If you know what I mean. The third book in the Chestnut Spring series is Powerless. This is about their childhood friend, which happens to be kind of their adopted brother in a way, like fostered brother. This is a sports romance. It kind of strays away from the cowboy romance trope, but it's like thrown in there because he's both a hockey player and like a ranch man. So take it how you will. Powerless, I would say the main trope is childhood friends to lovers. It's about Jasper and Sloane. Sloane is set to marry like another man, and Jasper just can't let that happen because he's like, I am so in love with you, like you have to be with me. And obviously, I mean, the book is about them, so I wonder who she ends up with. The fourth book in the Chestnut Spring series is Reckless. It is an accidental pregnancy trope, but it's so good. I swear, I promise you, you'll love it. It's so amazing. It's written so well. It is about Theo, who is mentored by Rhett from the first book, and Winter, which happens to be Summer's sister. So you can see how they all interconnect. But Theo and Winter, they started off on the wrong foot. Winter absolutely is so annoyed with Theo, but Theo, you know, the little flirty cowboy he is, he flirts with her no matter what and like literally tries to make her laugh. And let's just say they hooked up once, and 9 months later there was a baby, and he didn't know that he was the father because of some misunderstanding. So good. I promise you guys, even if you don't like accidental pregnancies, this book is so good. The next 3 books are books that I think about pretty often because it was so like mind-boggling, and it's just not really romance and like cutesy fall. So yeah, I'm just gonna dive right into it. First book is A Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. This is a mystery book. This was my first mystery book I've ever read, so it definitely set the bar really high for the next upcoming mystery books that I'm planning to read. But The Perfect Marriage is about Sarah and Adam. Sarah is like the best defense lawyer in like whatever state they live in, and Adam is like a failing writer, so Sarah brings in all that moolah, and he felt some type of way, so he had an affair. And then the next day, his little mistress was found on their lake house bed. And of course, Sarah, being the most picture perfect wife ever, she decides to defend Adam in court. And this ending, you guys, will leave you guys in awe. Not in a good way. Like literally, like you won't be able to stop thinking about this book. I honestly want to sign a petition to make this book a movie because it would be such a good movie. Like think of Gone Girl, Girl on the Train. It was giving that vibe. The next book that is giving fall is Layla by Colleen Hoover. This book was like a hit or miss for people, but I absolutely loved it. I don't really care about the cheating trope or whatever, but you have to read the full book to understand the cheating trope. I mean, I didn't really like it, and then I read the ending and I was like, no way. Like, no way did that just happen. But Layla is about Leeds and Layla. They like hit it off right off the bat, and then one day Layla gets unexpectedly like attacked, and so she's in a coma, and after she wakes up from the coma, she acts like completely different. Like she's just a whole different person. And then Leeds finds like this other girl named Willow who kind of intrigues him, and I don't know, it sounds okay, it sounds like he's cheating. He is, but you just have to read the book. I don't want to like say that he falls for Willow after his girlfriend just gets like attacked and is like in a coma and then wakes up and she's like different, and then he finds like another girl to like fall in love with, but it kind of happens like that. Okay, it happens like that. But there's like an underlying plot, okay? Like, I don't want to stray you guys away by giving that description, but that's what happens. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That's what happens, and you have to think of the bigger picture, okay? And I actually really enjoy this book. I think I might do a reread, but this book was definitely like very controversial in the Clean Hoover world. It was either you 100% hate it or you 100% loved it. I didn't see anybody in the middle, so yeah. Layla by Clean Hoover. The next book is also a Clean Hoover book. It is Verity. This book was messed up. It was messed up psychologically. It just was creepy. It was scary. Not in like a scary movie kind of way, but kind of a, how do you think of that? Like, how do you think of these things and then write it and then make it a book? Verity is about Lowen. Lowen is hired to be a ghostwriter for Verity. Verity was like this very famous author that got into a horrible accident. And so Lowen was hired by Verity's husband, James, to basically take over for Verity and finish Verity's, I think it was like a book or like a book series or whatever. And so in order to do that, Lowen has to go live in Verity and James' house. Okay, I like kind of blinked. His name is not James. His name is Jeremy. Jeremy and Lowen get into like this little affair. And so since Verity's in a coma, obviously they're like, oh, she's not going to do anything about it. But then Lowen starts seeing like Verity like out of the corner of her eye, or like with just like weird things would start happening. Like things were being misplaced, moved around. Plus Verity and Jeremy has a son, and the son would always tell Lowen like weird creepy things about Verity and like what she would do around the house when like nobody's there, or like how Verity would talk to him. Verity's in a coma, if you don't remember, so it was just kind of scary. It's just kind of creepy, weird, scary, definitely messed up. So keep an open mind. It's not cutesy, it's heavy, it's something. The next set of books, it's a trilogy actually, and it's the Ravenhood series by Kate Stewart. I love this series so much because it was just, at first it was really confusing, and that's how it's supposed to be. Like, you're supposed to literally be left in the dirt and left wondering like what the book is actually about, because literally the back is like so vague too, so it's kind of weird. But Flock is the first book. It is a reverse harem. Just this book though. So just this book. It's a reverse harem. It's about Cecilia and Sean and Dominic. I don't know how to explain it because even to this day I'm still kind of confused. But Sean and Dominic are keeping like this huge secret away from Cecilia, and like they won't tell her certain things. They would literally ask her such vague questions like, can you keep a secret? And that's literally how this whole first book is. It's literally like, can I trust you, blah, blah, and she's like, what do you guys do? Yeah, you just have to get through this first book. It is really good though, because the spice, amazing. You either get to choose Sean or Dominic to fangirl over, so you get two options. The second book is Exodus. This is about Cecilia. I want to say it's like a closure from the relationship with Dom and Sean. I can't really give you guys like a little deep dive on what each book is about because it's like a continuation of what happens in the first book. The description about the series is going to be so vague, and I'm so sorry for that, but that's all they gave me when I first went to this. I kind of went into it very blind. But the Ravenhood series is, I want to say it's like a mystery, like a secret, kind of. Yeah, like a unveiling of a secret. Not really like a mystery, not like a murder mystery or anything. It's just like a secret. Sean and Dominic are in this group. I don't know what to call them, but they're called the Ravens, so kind of like a gang. Weird. They kind of give off like mafia vibes, but they're not. They're just a group, okay? They're a group that do things for the greater good. That's all I can say. But then they don't like but they don't act like it. Does that make sense? They don't act like superheroes or anything. They're super like chill about it. I don't know. I feel like that's all I can give you guys because I don't want to give anything away. But yeah, so the reading order goes Flock, and then Exodus, and then The Finish Line, which is like the closure of this whole trilogy. And it was really sad. So if you want to cry, read the Ravenhood series. The next couple books is also a series. It's The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This series is literally radiating fall vibes, so I had to put it in. If you like mysteries, puzzles, a lot of puzzles, like wordplay and all that, then The Inheritance Game is for you, because I didn't think I was gonna like all the puzzles and mystery and all that, but I loved it so much. It literally kept me so entertained. The fourth book is called The Brothers Hawthorne, and I've not read that yet. I started it, but I'm not even halfway through it, and I love it so much already. But then again, I can't give you guys a little deep dive because each book follows like the book before, so that kind of gives it away. But the first book, The Inheritance Game, is about Avery Grams. She just randomly like inherited like billions of dollars from a man that she's never met. And then in order to inherit that money, she has to go live in his like huge mansion with his grandsons that were supposed to inherit the money. And so you can kind of assume like the enemies to lovers trope coming in there. Love triangle. This book blew up on TikTok because of the love triangle. Like, it's either you are a team Jameson or a team Grayson. I mean, I was even sad when I found out who she ended up with, but you'll never know unless you read the book. The second book is The Hawthorne Legacy, and then it follows with The Final Gambit. I love these books. It's super YA too, by the way, so don't expect anything spicy. But that doesn't exclude that the tension isn't there, because it's there. It is there. And they do like kiss a little, you know, but it's like heated kiss. Okay, this is like my last series that I'm gonna recommend, so don't worry. So these two books is called The Cat and Mouse Duet. The first book is called Haunting Adeline, and then the second book is called Hunting Adeline. Super, super dark, by the way. Super dark romance. Trigger warnings all the way. Please do your research before you read these books, because it is dark. When I tell you dark, it's dark. It's super bad. Even I was kind of like taken back, and I was like, what am I reading? Like, is this okay? Like, are the cops like gonna come show up at my door? Anyway, Haunting Adeline is a stalker romance about this girl named Adeline and this guy named Zaid. Zaid becomes infatuated with her after seeing her picture at one of her book signings, and then the rest was history. He would, like I said, stalk her. Yeah, so he would stalk her, see her bring home men, and then threaten to like hurt those men if they touched her. And let's just say he did not lie. He did not lie about hurting those men, or that man, should I say. Like, he did not lie. Yeah, I mean, they end up together. And then it leaves off on a cliffhanger. So then you have to read the second book, which is Hunting Adeline. And this book is way darker than the first book. Like, it's literally so bad. I want you guys to do a deeper dive on what the contents are in this book, because I don't even want to list them out, because I don't even think I would do it justice of listing them all. So yeah, this book takes place right after this cliffhanger, and yeah, I don't know what to say. It was crazy. It was sad. It was really sad. And the last book recommendation is the Mindfuck series by St. Abby. Please search up the trigger warnings for this book also. I don't have the physical copy with me because I read it on my Kindle, but I might buy it just to have the physical copy and like reread it. But the Mindfuck series is about Lana. She is out for revenge. She has like a whole list of men who brutally did her wrong, and so she is like set to kill them one by one, making it so gruesome and painful, while there is an FBI agent trying to catch her, and his name is Logan. And he ends up on the case. He's trying to identify the serial killer, and let's just say he runs into Lana himself, obviously not knowing who she really is. He falls in love with her, and they're both so in love, infatuated with each other, but he just doesn't know that the serial killer is his girlfriend. Like, isn't that just amazing? I love that so much. Go Lana. And that is the end of today's fall book recommendations video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There's literally so much book content that I have planned. I just need time to film them. But until then, see you guys next time. Bye.